Hey there folks, welcome back to my channel on my Tegus that I have. Just want to welcome new people and just remind people that I have with this video 139 videos specifically about my Tegus, all the way from the very first day I got them when they were about that long, little babies, maybe 3 weeks old, all the way up to 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years later, because they're both my male that I got first is close to 2.5 months old, and Sassy, my red Tegu, Argentine Tegu, is 3 months. I got her 3 months later, and there's a specific reason that I got two. I didn't necessarily would have ever bought two. I was happy with one, but now I ended up with two, and it's a blessing. So I'm very glad that I have two. Things happen for a reason, and whatever that reason was, I'm happy for it now. But I want to touch base with you real quick about the subject of the video, and it's so I don't talk about too much. I need to stay on topic. When I brumated my Tegus, obviously I got them as little babies, and as I had them in the first year, I got them, I think, in March, and then March, April, May, June, and so I didn't have a whole lot of time before. I had maybe 6 months before November time frame when they started, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, when they would have been, been going into brumation. But in my opinion, and just me, and it was just, anyone else can do something totally different what they want to do, or do it the opposite way. I didn't brumate them as little babies. Plus, they were new, and I wanted to hang out with them and enjoy them, so I kept them up. I did allow from day one my two Tegus to free roam this whole room, and I did not have a specific cage for them. I had the cages to put them in, but I didn't do it. I just left them in the room. They slept in the room. They woke up in the room. I had some lights set up over here along that wall under a table. They just really enjoyed being out and not being kept in a cage. Again, my opinion, because I obviously I'm not the Tegu, but they thrived and they did really, really well. And then I just want to tell you that this room, I block off the air conditioner vents and put a limiting little divider under the door so that the air from where I live outside and the rest of the home, the cooler air has a harder time getting in here. So this room stays more like the outside. And I live in Texas. We're in Texas in summer. It's very humid, and it's very humid and gets pretty warm. So this room right now is probably about 85 degrees. You'll see me sweating here just shortly because I don't do as well in the heat as I did when I was in my 20s. I'm in my 50s now. But let me just jump to the video real quick. With all that said, I have another room in my house. It was the old garage that got turned into maybe like a playroom, but I don't use it for that. So I've converted that whole probably 17-foot room by 30-foot room into even bigger room for the Tegus to completely hang out. Like 90% of the time. Mac, my larger male, who needs more space than my female, she's smaller. The male needs more space to roam around, and he lives in that room because they've had to have been separated now. They grew up together and grew up very close, and were always just stuck to each other like Velcro. I mean, they followed each other around, they slept on each other, and it's such a shame that life takes over, and obviously they're competitors now for food, and the big Mac, my male, wants to constantly mate with her, and he damages her by constantly biting on her back and her tail. And if I let it go on, she gets really, the back of her back and her tail gets really chewed up, and it's just not what I want when I see Sassy, because she's such a beautiful female red Tegu. But let me just tell you, during brumation, I know this took a long time to get here, but she lost her nail on her, let me see if I'm looking at the camera just like I'm facing. She lost one of her claws from her front foot. And I made a video about it or I made a post about it, and people were like, yeah, she somehow lost her toe because, I let them sleep and poop or something, like that. And I was like, no, 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 no. I don't let my tegus sleep and poop or walk around and poop. And poop, their waste does not stay in the cage more than five minutes or 10 minutes, because I'm here a lot and I monitor them all day long because I enjoy them and hang out with them. And so their poop gets immediately cleaned up, and they go immediately in the morning when they wake up, maybe within the first hour, they get put in the bathtub with warm water, and that's my way of kind of potty training them. And they go to the bathroom in the bathtub. Sometimes when I'm not here, and I'm not here for 3 days, then I try to feed them in the process so that they go poop while I'm here, and then they don't get fed right before I leave, and so they don't poop as much while I'm gone. And then when I return home, I feed them again, and then I can put them in the bathtub because they usually cycle that food pretty quickly. If I feed them one day, they go to the bathroom almost the next day, or most definitely the following day, and they will poop that food out that I fed them. So something to know, and you probably know this if you have a Tegu. But let me just show you, Sassy during brumation, like I said, she lost her nail, and it basically, I don't know what it was from or how it happened, but when they go into brumation, their system shuts down, and so if they have an injury going into something or of that nature, then it's potentially that it can do harm to them. So potentially, I was used to trim Sassy's nails, the tips of them off, because her nails are just literally little baby cat claws. I mean, they're the sharpest things that I've ever encountered with any of my reptiles. And so I would just cut the very, very tips off. And when I'm saying the very, very tips, I would almost have to put magnifying goggles on and to see, and to cut just the very, very tip off to take the tone off those claws. And then so I'm just assuming that one time I did that, and I didn't cut them very, very short, obviously because they'll bleed. And one time just cutting the very, very, very tip off, she started to bleed. And so I think that was the same nail. And then she went in, a couple of months later into brumation, and her system shuts down. And the process that that keeps her body healthy kind of goes down into standby mode, and then any infection that they have, or illness or sickness or damage to their body, kind of can go off the chart. And so maybe that's how she lost her nail. Long explanation for something that could probably be shortened, but let me just show you Sassy real quick. Here's my closure that I put a top on in the last 3 months. These open up. I built this big pen was custom built by me, and when they were young, I didn't need to have a top on it because they couldn't get out. But as they grew up, I needed to put a top on it so they couldn't get out and damage their lights, because I would have their lights on a structure up here that they could actually get to, and they were really damaging my expensive UVB lights. And so this was really, really needed. But this is how I have it set up. Dual pane that you can lift up to get to different sections, because this is actually quite heavy. But enough about that, and I used a little prop system here. But I'll show you more about the cage and how I have it set up at the end of the video. But let me just take Sassy out. Hang on, I gotta make sure my mic's in the right position, because she will knock it off. So here's Sassy, my red Tegu. She's almost more black now than red, and she's gonna want to get down immediately. But I'm gonna try to show you. Sassy, settle down. I'm gonna bring her over here. She's a squirmster, and trying to get her with her foot. Okay, Sassy, settle down. Let me just do the video. Here's her foot, if you can see, and this nail right there. There's this nail and this nail right here, the second one from the edge. Sassy. But the camera's probably not going to focus on that. But she has the nails growing back, and she's such a handful. How she's going to tear up my shirt. Here, go down right there. Okay. Sassy in brumation. I don't know if you're going to catch that, but she lost a toenail while she was brumating. I didn't see her for like 5 months. I had no idea, but I can't tell if it's growing back or if it's gone forever. But I put medication on it and sterilized it, but you know, how well is that going to work for a lizard? And hopefully it grows back, because I don't want her to be clawless on that one front left foot. But her nail, it took like 4 or 5 months to grow back, but her nail is definitely growing back. And so, you know, if you have a Tegu, and if the nail, the foot hasn't been bitten by another Tegu or broken off or cut, there is hope for the nail growing back. Is kind of why I want to make this video. I'm excited because I was really disappointed that she had lost her nail, because she has such long nails. You know, it looks odd. You know, she's not a perfect Tegu anymore, you know, with you know, that long claw, you know, all on her other, you know, other toes, but missing one. And so I was really not happy that she had lost that, because it kind of makes her, you know, not as pretty of an animal, you know, missing a claw. So I just wanted to bring the video and show you that, yep, her nail is growing back, and maybe, you know, if your Tegu's lost a nail, that there's hope that it'll grow back too. But she's such a great little girl. Come here. She always thinks I'm bringing her food, always. Even if she is stuffed and she is so bloated, she will forget that she ate and she wants more food. That's all she thinks about is food. And my black and white Tegu is not necessarily like that. But this female, and that could be a female trait, she is just a firecracker. Woo! But I love her to death. Sassy is an awesome Tegu to own. She just takes a little bit different handling and care, because she will really scratch you up. She just likes to not be confined and held, you know, like a dog that you can hold in your arms and you can kind of pet, or a lap dog. This Tegu wants to do what she wants to do, and so when I'm holding her in a spot, that's not necessarily what she wants to do. But let me show you the cage real quick and we'll wrap the video up. All right, here real fast, I've got a 250 watt GE heat food prep bulb is basically what that's used for. Or you could put it in you know, your bathroom up in the ceiling, and it projects a lot of heat. And they're $4.99 at Walmart. At least they were. I bought a couple of them. I bought 5 of them over the last year and a half. So really great in a ceramic socket, of course, because it's 250 watts. You don't want to burn your house down. Here I've got a mercury vapor bulb, 100 watt. And this fixture right here, again, a ceramic holder, you know, a ceramic piece that it fits into. So again, because that gets really hot. Down there I've got my ceramic plates down there that it's mounted to a thin cinder block. It's cemented to that or glued to it, and then put down on the dirt that I have a substrate. And then the Tegus really, that soaks up a lot of heat, and so when the Tegus climb on it, they're getting the radiant heat from the bottom and from the top, from both of these lights. They put out quite a bit of heat. But I just want to show you real quick, these are my 46-inch high output 10.0 fluorescent lights. And so when I lift these tops up, they want to slide down and fall off. So I needed a way to easily affix these to my top, because I've got screen right here so the Tegus can't beat these lights up anymore. And I've got some industrial rubber bands, and I put some decorative, you know, black screws in, and then mounted that across, and this holds this light down really, really well. But easily I can take them off if I want to take the lights off and clean them or replace the bulbs. So really, really cool. As you can see, I can lift those up. Very cool. And then you can see I've kind of just got a prop system that, because they're quite heavy. But I just want to show you in the cage that I have here. There's her hide box, and I just bought a recent new package of Zoom Ed sphagnum moss. Sassy really enjoys getting into her hide, sometimes during the day and night. Definitely at night, she goes in there and sleeps. And I moisten that down, and then that gives her a little bit of extra humidity. And there she is right there, hanging out. My camera is difficult to move because it's on a gimbal, but there she is. And so that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. I appreciate you watching the videos. Come back and check out more content. And also remember, I've got 139 videos now that you can find a lot of information about tegus, raising them from babies up to young adults. I don't consider these mature adults yet, but that's everything. Have a great day. If you like the video, that'd be helpful. And hit the notification bell so you can get future videos, because I make 1 or 2 a week, and I also post photos, still photos of things that I encounter. Maybe like when her nail came off and she lost her toenail. Maybe that was one of those posts of that type. So you can get all my content. All right, bye-bye. Have a great day and a great night wherever you are. All right, bye-bye.